I'm going to do a video on the pinch collar. As you can see, I have a pinch collar right here. This pinch collar has a little clip here. So this one has a little latch, comes off like this. Yeah. So that's a Hermspringer. You only want to get Hermspringer pinch collars. You don't want to get like anything lesser, because this is a really important tool for if you're doing positive negative reinforcement training, because you know, when you're doing positive negative reinforcement training, you need to have a collar more than just like their flat collar or like a martingale collar. You need something that's, you know, they're gonna be motivated to listen to, you know, something that's gonna, you need something that's gonna efficiently give a correction without, you know, having to put too much pressure on them, or, you know, something that's safe. Pinch collars are made for dogs and they work amazing. So they're especially helpful for teaching dogs not to pull on the leash. You can use pinch collars to correct jumping behavior. You can use pinch collars to correct dog aggression. In some cases, you know, you need to, of course, when correcting behavioral stuff or aggression, you should be in contact with the trainer, but it can do a lot of things. So with this collar, the way it works is it's got a bunch of links in it, right? And you can remove links to make the collar smaller. And now we only got, it had 10 links, now we only got 8. But you can remove any link on the whole chain. So you want to open it from here and open it like this. And then you put it over your dog's neck like this. And then you get one link in. Then you get the other link in like this. Alright? So you got basically these two here. And the way you take them apart is you pinch right here. Yeah? And then you got pinch this over here, and then you just pull it apart. Now if you want to put it back together, get one of these links here and put it in here. Right? That's what you do first. And then if you want to get the other link in there, you kind of push and pull it, and then see, now it just slides back up. You don't want to like put it in like this and then try to do that. Obviously that won't work. And you can technically do this and pull it in, but that's going to be really hard to do. So you want to put it in like this. And so now you can add it to your collar like this. Yeah, you have this clip here, right? It's kind of like a clip that's handy for if you only have one hand to take, if you only have one hand available to take the collar off the dog, then you know you can use this clip and the collar comes right off, right? Now the way you put this back together is you hold the collar like this. You take the bottom chain piece here and you thread it through the top. And now you take your clip and you go. There you go. Go like that. And now it's put back together. So this clip is especially helpful if, you know, if you only have one hand, like you've got a phone call and you know, removing links like this requires 2 hands. So, you know, you got a phone call, just release it, release the clip. Another thing, it could be helpful, let's say if the collar somehow got caught on something and the dog's pulling, these links get really tight together. So even if, you know, the dog is pulling, the dog can get freed easily. So the way you adjust the intensity of the collar is the more links you take out, the more snug the collar is going to be on the dog, and the higher it's going to go up on the neck. Up here is the most sensitive part of the dog's neck, up here behind the ears. In the middle, you know, that's in between. The least sensitive part, or the sensitive part of the neck, is going to be the base of the neck. And so if you have a real sensitive dog, or you're putting your pinch collar on the dog for the first time, then you can put it all the way back here. Now, if they've gotten used to it and you're using it and they're not really responding to it, then you can put it in the middle. Now, some dogs are so stubborn and tough that they don't really respond to the pinch collar much or negative reinforcement. So instead of trying to crank on the collar harder and putting more torque into it, you can remove links from the collar to make the dog more sensitive to the collar. And so as you remove links, the collar moves further up the neck, and the dog is more sensitive to the collar. And that's for, you know, your tree trunk dogs with really, really thick necks, or really high resilience and tolerance. So this is Amax, and I'm gonna demonstrate how to put a pinch collar on Amax. Yeah. So got my pinch collar here, and the way we put it on is, again, put it over the neck like that. See? And you want to put this D-ring on the back of the neck here, right? Now, this collar is pretty loose on Amax, because you can see it's going all the way to the back of the neck. And it's even kind of slacking. So this is you would put the collar on the dog like this if your dog is really sensitive, but needs a pinch collar. Now, if I want to make it more snug, you just remove links, and let's see. Now you see, like this. Now see how it's starting to move up the neck. Let's see. Another one. So now I remove another one, and now see, it's sitting above his flat collar, but it's about right in the middle, right? And he's going to be more sensitive, a lot more sensitive to this than if I had more links to put on the base of the neck. Now Amax here, he doesn't need it that snug. About, you know, for Amax, for this 3mm pinch collar, I put it at about, you know, 8 links on him. Now, if I want to make it even more snug, then you just, you know, remove another link, and you see now that gets a lot more snug, and now we can pull this up, and now we're a lot more sensitive to it. See? And, you know, we could technically remove another link, but then it would be like so tight where it's not really working as efficiently. So, you see, you either have it here, or the base. Good job. Now, sizing the pinch collar on your dog is really important, because if you have it on too loose and they're tough, right? Then it's not they're not gonna really respond to it. If they're a sensitive dog and you put it on too snug, up high, like behind the ears, then the setting's gonna be too high and the dog won't accept it. That'll be too intense for them. When should you put the collar on the dog is, gonna be basically whenever you're gonna do training or whenever you need the dog to listen. Dogs, they know when they're wearing this. It's quite obvious to them when you put this on them. And a lot of times once they have it on, they're like, okay, it's time to train, I'm focused, I'm at work right now. That's what they think when they're wearing this. When they're not wearing it, then they're gonna be thinking more of well, I don't think I feel like doing it right now, or how are you gonna make me do that? They're gonna start thinking that way, but you want to use it. Let's say when you go on your walks down your sidewalk, like you want to go for a jog, they should wear it. They should wear it when your guests come over, so your dog doesn't jump all over them or overwhelm them, or act rude. The dogs can wear it when, let's say, you're at a rest stop, whenever you go into a store, practice your heeling with this. And there's a lot of different obedience that you can teach the dog with this. So, the dog, these links are soft at the end here. They're not sharp like nails or anything like that. So that would be crazy if they were. But basically, these contact points are flat and soft. Now, the dog can wear this. This is safe for the dog to wear, but the dog can really only wear this for about maybe 6 or 8 hours at a time. So you don't really want to. I mean, they could wear it technically for longer, but you shouldn't really wear it for longer than that, because some dogs may have sensitive skin, so it could cause skin irritation, and it could cause skin irritation. So you don't want to do something crazy and leave it on your dog for 3 days straight or something, because then it develops sores. So the rule is with these is whenever they can't be monitored or supervised, the collar has to come off. If you put them inside a dog crate, they can't wear the collar in the dog crate. If you put your dog in the back seat and you're driving, you should take it off. If let's say the dog's wearing it and you leave the house and the dog's in the house by himself, you should take it off. If you're just gonna leave your dog in the backyard unsupervised for an hour, you should take it off. Because when your dog is wearing it, there is always, the way this collar works is as the dog pulls, it tightens. So if this is caught on something, and dog's natural reaction is to try and break themselves free by pulling harder and flipping, that's only going to make it worse for the dog, and things could end badly for the dog if, say, no one's around and they get caught on something. So you have to take it off whenever the dog's not monitored or when you're not using it. When you put the collar on the dog, it doesn't just do a correction on the front of their neck, but around their entire neck. And it does basically an equal distribution of pressure around the whole area, right? So you do a pop like this, and it's doing the whole neck, not just here where their trachea might be. So you can do a pop correction, which is like do a little pop like that, or like if the dog, and so that's also known as an avoidance correction, right? So let's say we want to teach the dog not to pull. So the dog's gonna start walking forward, and as he starts pulling, you go pop, and then he's like, whoa, okay. And then after you give him these pops, as he gets towards the end of the leash, whereas if he jumps, you do a pop, for example, then he's gonna learn that whenever I pull, whenever I jump, I'm gonna get this pop correction. And you know, they're gonna wanna do something, do an alternative to pulling. Let's say they're gonna learn that, okay, if I pull, then I get a pop, but if I walk and I don't pull, then I get treats and I get praised, and we get, you know, I get rewarded. If I go up to somebody and I'm thinking about jumping, but then I don't jump, then I'm gonna get pet even more. I'm gonna get treats. But if I jump, then I'm gonna get that pop that I want to avoid. So that's how the avoidance correction works. Now with an escape correction, that's a different kind of correction we can do. So an escape correction is doing continual pressure until the dog does what you want. So if the dog sees something exciting over there and wants to go over there, you can pull directly upward, and the dog gets the feeling of, whoa, okay, how do I turn this pressure off? By sitting? Ooh, okay. Then you know, release the pressure, and then they learn how to turn the pressure off. Same thing if I want them to lie down. If I want them to lie down, I'm gonna pull downward, and then they lie down, and then release the pressure. That's how an escape correction works.